What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So I'm pretty sure all of you know by now that the Los Angeles Lakers have fired Frank Vogel. All right. It has been only 2 years since Frank Vogel led the Lakers to a championship, but this is not unprecedented in Lakers lore. As we will see if you continue to watch Winning Time, this happened at that time. Paul Westhead replaced Jack McKinney, who suffered that near fatal head injury, that bicycle accident. Uh, he replaced Jack McKinney as head coach during the 1979 to 1980 season and won a championship with the Lakers. But by the beginning of the 81-82 season, Paul Westhead was fired. Now, there are different reasons as to why. Part of it had to do with the fact that Magic Johnson, who by that time was a superstar, was not getting along with Paul Westhead as far as how he was being utilized in offense and how the team was running their offense. But also, Jerry Buss had his fill of him as well. So he was fired. And he had just won a championship even earlier in the calendar structure than Frank Vogel. So these things happen. Um, I think it's a combination of many things. Um, you can't blame it all on Frank Vogel. A lot of it has to do with the fact that Russell Westbrook was a terrible fit from day one with his team. He was unwilling to make a lot of the necessary changes, especially earlier on, to to get this thing to work. As more information has come out, that was part of the problem. He played very poorly, extremely poorly, the first third to half of the season. That was a contributing factor. Carmelo Anthony was being phased out offensively as the year progressed, as one other player, LeBron James, began to assert himself offensively. That led to more losses because he was shooting the ball a lot. Other players were getting stagnant offensively, not getting involved. At the same time, LeBron, Carmelo, Westbrook, not getting it done on the defensive end, especially, in my opinion, LeBron James, who was playing very selfishly this year, in my opinion. Anthony Davis' unavailability hurt the team. Lack of dominance when he was out there hurt the team. So these are all contributing factors. The toxic atmosphere that was starting to permeate with the team. People talking about each other. Dissension. You could get a sense that this team never jailed. They never got as one. Um, uh, and it seems like some of the lesser players who weren't getting as many minutes were trying to put a bug in Westbrook's ear about management, about perhaps even other players, and that caused a lot of disharmony and mistrust. And that's why they almost lost 50 games this year. But I can't put it all on Frank Vogel. You know, like I said, the things I named, but he was part of the problem. Um, let's be honest, the Lakers, in my opinion, did benefit a great deal during that bubble year from a 4.5 month hiatus. An older team with a player that is prone to injuries getting a 4.5 month break, plus the other, unusual aspects of that season. Yeah, it's not the normal circumstance. It'll be like if the Bulls played one more year in '99, but Jordan had that finger injury, right, which would have prevented him from playing 4/5 of the season. But yet, let's say they had a 4.5 month break. The other people be like, hey man, that's not fair. Well, that's how I saw with the Lakers. Because every other year was a normal structured year, the LeBron experience has been a colossal failure in LA. So No, it's not all on Frank Vogel, but he lost control of that team. They no longer responded to him, and it was time for him to go. I'm not going to campaign for Frank Vogel because a lot of people always want to throw Doc Rivers under the bus. Now, I will say this. I want to be perfectly clear. I don't think Doc Rivers is a top 15 all-time coach. That's bullshit. But he's not a horrible coach. The man's won a championship. And yes, he has failed in the playoffs a lot, and that does hurt his overall legacy as a coach. But it also condemns the players on his team that were culpable in that as well. So no, people always want to throw Doc Rivers under the bus or Tyronn Lue, but other coaches who actually are failing epically, people want to give them passes. Now, nope, I won't do it. But anyway, that's all I got to say about this. Tell me what you guys think.